We're in the city centre here in Manchester, and if you walk around all of this area, you think, what a rich city we've got. And it's true, because in this ward, Manchester M1, millions of pounds have been spent. Millions. Helping the business, helping the corporations, because it's the corporations' pound now that shapes this city. It's the bankers' pound that brought about the cuts, and it's £170 million cuts so far to Manchester. That's what's been inflicted on Manchester. But there's two Manchesters, because within a mile of where we sit, if you go in that direction or that direction, you come to some of the poorest parts of the city. I've got the league table here, not the Football League table, the Severe Child Poverty League table, and guess who's top? Manchester. Alan was saying, more than Liverpool now, Manchester. Beats Tower Hamlets. Now, the people that run this city, Richard Leese, the Labour councillors, they have been saying something that I think is very, very nasty. They have been calling people who have to rely on benefits, benefit scroungers. They said, we can't have Manchester as the welfare capital of the north. And that's why they say, the city councillors, they've got to help I Love Manchester, they've got to help business, they've got to help tourism, they've got to help the breweries and the hotels. But who are the real scroungers? Because, again, right near where we are, there's the banks. Barclays Bank. Colette and Steph from UK Uncut protested in the window of Barclays Bank, saying, why haven't Barclays paid all their taxes? Why haven't they, you know, why they've been bailed out with all our money and they're giving bonuses to the top people? It's not right. Very, very good thing to do. Absolutely back that entirely. Other places down here, Vodafone, don't pay their taxes. The real scroungers are the millionaires, the bosses of the corporations. These are the people that are taking the money out of the pockets of people that need it. Where I live in Chorlton, many teachers, many health workers, many people who work in the universities, who've paid in their pensions, they're going to have that money stolen from them. It's cuts, cuts, cuts right across this city. But there's something else. There's resistance. We have had, in this city and across the country, a year of massive resistance. Students started it off. We've had 500,000 trade unionists protesting last year. We've had 2 million people or more out on strike. Now, Ed Miliband said of the budget, and he was right, it's a budget for the millionaires, not the millions. And what he didn't do is he didn't say which side he's on. Because when millions were on strike, he said, no, you're wrong. When millions marched, he wasn't sure whether to join or not, and then he didn't join. It's his politics, the politics of Labour, front bench in London, Labour in this city, that is undermining the resistance, leaning on the trade union leaders to get the strikes called off. We need a different sort of political counsellor. We need to be able to march against cuts, campaign against cuts, go on strike against cuts, and vote against cuts. After the last elections last May, the local Labour MP, Tony Lloyd, said, the massive swing to Labour, every one of the Lib Dems are kicked out, good, but that Labour vote, he said, was a vote of confidence, an agreement with the millions of pounds cuts that the City Council has made. He's wrong on that. But he could say it because there was no alternative. We are starting today in Manchester, launching the election campaign of the Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition. We've got a nurse standing, we've got a civil servant trade unionist, we've got Colette, community activist from Moss Side, myself and a former teacher, big campaign on education and other issues. We've got people in Wythenshawe standing, in Ancoats standing. We're saying there's an alternative. It's only a beginning. 4 years ago, in Greece, the far left of the Labour Party type candidates were getting 4% of the vote. After 4 years of mass austerity and mass resistance, the left of Labour vote is 40%. We're only at the beginning. We've been told only 10% of the cuts have been brought in. Another 90% to come. We can't stand for it. We need candidates that we can vote for who don't stand on the sidelines, who don't abandon the shields and surrender to the money markets. We need candidates who are going to fight. Candidates like Colette, candidates like the others that are standing across the city, and I would say candidates like myself. And I'm just one of a whole number of people who are saying we've had enough and we're going to fight back, because it's either now, it's either them, the rich, getting richer and everyone else suffering, or we get a movement strong enough to save our libraries, to bring the youth clubs back, to take the money out of the taxes where they should be paying it from the British bosses and the millionaires, because another Manchester is possible, another Europe is possible, but you know, another world is possible. And that's what we're fighting for today, and this is why I'd urge everyone to help the campaign, the trade unionists and socialist coalitions, all the 6 candidates, do whatever you can, because this is the beginning of an alternative, a fighting alternative.